Just today's show thing. No need for a callback. You want to talk Kings?
Sure.
Okay. So we've had some conversations throughout the year about defense. Do they have the personnel? Is the effort there? No matter who it is, if they're not playing defense, then they might not play. We've heard that. And then 10 games into the season, Zach LaVine has really been the first member of the organization to kind of acknowledge a lot of what we've said and what a lot of people have said. I don't want to make it all about us, but no, I kind of do want to make it all about us. What we've said, which is you can't ask a dog to moo. You can only do so much without the proper personnel. Here's what Zach said. Here's what he said. And
I think everybody's understanding that that's the focus. I think that's what they came into the season with, obviously. Obviously, there's a personnel thing with that goes with that as well. Guys can go out there and play as tough as they can on defense. I said, I speak for myself. I think we've all been trying. I've been trying my ass off on defense, but you need a team collective, the right identity. Sometimes you need the right personnel out there. You're not going to ask Rudy Gobert to go out there and average 30. So he's a defensive guy, though, and that's his job. But I think with the guys that we have on the team, we got to play to the right strengths of the team. And I think defensively, we got to be there for each other, help each other. But then on the other end, we got to take advantage of that. So, that's what I think, and that's what I see. I think guys are giving the right effort. It's just frustrating when we're not getting the right results.
I think Zach has been a really good and fun, I don't know if fun's the right word, but a very insightful interview this year. Mm-hmm. That's one era of his game I wasn't familiar with. He got here last year and it was kind of a tornado, and then he had some off-court stuff he was dealing with. And being able to talk to him, Jason, you and I, at Media Day, which was probably my favorite interview.
I don't think I make too much money. I think I get paid more.
That was the best part. Thank you, Kyle.
I don't think I make too much money. I think I get paid more.
So then hearing him there, Zach, I didn't hear Zach making excuses or blaming others or being negative. I heard Zach analyzing basketball, and I think he's 100% correct. And this isn't the first time this has been brought up. Now, I'm going to take you back, way back, well, to less than a year ago, last December.
Oh, way back.
This is nobody get triggered, please, because there's two triggerings going on in this next clip. This is on Draymond Green's podcast, and it's old friend, old acquaintance, old enemy, De'Aaron Fox, and Draymond Green talking about the defense and the frustrations of the Sacramento Kings from the point of view of Draymond having played for then-coach Mike Brown. And I thought in light, Jason, of Zach LaVine's comments a couple days ago, it would be interesting to revisit this conversation.
I'll tell you what I'm surprised at. I'm surprised the thing that y'all have struggled with as a team is defense, because Mike Brown with defense, that's what he do. He guru. And so I know it'd be driving him crazy. So you got to challenge. This on y'all as players, because Mike Brown, I know he losing his hair.
He lost whatever hair he had left, wherever it is. Obviously I think personnel is a thing. We're one of those smaller teams. Obviously we have a legit shot blocker. So you're fighting against kind of construction. You can't, obviously you're only as good as your personnel a lot of the time. So for us, we throw out different things and different looks, try to, muck the game up, try to change the way that people see us. I might guard somebody, then Keegan might guard somebody, then Keon might guard somebody. But I think he's making do with what, he's got.
I think it's important to kind of create that juxtaposition, because Mike Brown's reputation is he's one of the best defensive minds in the NBA. And I think you're really going to see that, going from the Sacramento Kings to the New York Knicks when it comes to coaching defense is like going from me to Brad Pitt when it comes to if you're a modeling company. It's you now all of a sudden have this amazing personnel, all these guys who've completely bought in. And on the Warriors, if that's a sandwich of Mike Brown's career and the Warriors and Knicks are the bread and the Kings are the filling, the Warriors have one of the great defensive players, let's just call it, of all time in Draymond Green. Klay Thompson, who in his day was a very good wing defender. And you have personnel like Kevon Looney and others that can kind of help. Steph Curry is not a gifted defensive player. That's not what you're getting at of Steph. But what Steph can do is he can delay his guy at the top a little bit, as De'Aaron Fox said, is kind of the head of the snake, pick somebody up. And when they inevitably blow by him, he has this entire established defense behind him. And I think that was a lot of Mike Brown's defensive philosophies. Take the De'Aaron's a more gifted defender, in my opinion, than Steph Curry, and just try to pick the ball up, give your team a chance, especially obviously in transition, to establish their half-court defense, and then execute your half-court defense. The problem is you don't have anybody on this team other than Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis. One is hurt and one ain't playing that much, that are able to B-plus defenders. They're all either liabilities straight up, or, as you said yesterday, like with Sabonis, he's not necessarily a negative or a positive. He sure as hell isn't a rim protector.
Right.
But he is a big dude. It doesn't matter what Doug tries to do here. This personnel is not going to be good defensively.
Yeah, and I think that's what we heard De'Aaron say. What Mike Brown was trying to do is muck the game up, find different ways to defend. And I think that's probably what Doug Christie is doing, and trying to find the mix between the best offense with enough defense. And some nights it's acceptable, but if that offense isn't there, and then that separation starts to happen, then the defense looks worse. It's just, they're in a really tough position. Again, back to roster construction. And if you had a team like Mike Brown has now, let's say in the Knicks, where you have some pretty good, like OG's a really good perimeter defender. I think Bridges has been. Hart.
Yeah.
And then Towns is a big body. I don't know if he's the greatest rim protector.
Still 7 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas now Sacramento is not filled with a bunch of great wing defenders, nor anything in the interior. So there's not really one point of attack where you go, at least we have this.
That's right.
And they just don't have that.
The other problem, too, that we're seeing is on offense as well. This is the ultimate my turn, your turn offense. They are, as bad as they are defensively, they're not a ton better offensively. I think it's just their pure individual talent that's helping them. But when you look at who they have on the floor, let's just look at their starting lineup currently. You effectively have one shooter on the floor in Zach LaVine who shoots from beyond the arc with efficiency. DeMar DeRozan is your midi guy, but Dennis Schroeder, Achua, even Sabonis, other teams aren't worried about the Kings swinging the ball around. They're not worried about movement as much. They're focusing. They know the ball's odds are going to come to LaVine. It's going to come to DeRozan, or it's going to come to Sabonis, and that's where the ball is going to stay.
Yeah.
And so they don't have to rotate defense.
Another spot where Keegan would help.
Another spot where Keegan would very much help. And Keegan is going to – look, Keegan's not the savior.
Right.
I really hope people don't put a ton of pressure. Keegan will help the team. They will be better with Keegan, and they will – in the end, win more games with Keegan than without Keegan. But also, I think you and I both know, too, Keegan ain't going to make up 30 points against Oklahoma City. We'll take a break when we return. All right, one for madness. We're getting rid of we'll talk about Nick Kurtz and his Rookie of the Year at some point probably. I'm going to